The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and do not necessarily reflect the views of our guests. The views and the opinions of the guest do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutman channel, nor its host. Our guests' opinions are their own. This channel is for educational, entertainment, and informational purposes only, and utilizes fair use materials in accordance with applicable laws.
What if you could start your whole trucking career all over again, right? I mean, knowing what you know now, the good, the bad, the shady recruiters, the freedom, the grind, would you take the same road that you took years ago? Or would you build the perfect driving career from scratch in 2025?
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
What's going on, drivers? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for listening. I am Lockoutman, and our story begins with a message from a driver who took the time to ask a question. This driver wanted to get an honest answer from me, who been out here for quite a while. They wrote,
Hold on.
Let me ask you something. Since you are an experienced and seasoned trucker in this industry, and you have talked to almost all the trucking companies, I'm curious to know what your answer is. If you could do it again, what company or companies would you have chosen, since you know pretty much how all these trucking companies operate? Like, take me through the perfect trucker journey. Who would you go with as your starter company? Who would you choose after you got experienced? Would you stay with one company, and how long? Would you go company driver or owner-operator? What steps would you take to get to independent owner-operator status? You talked about company-paid CDL program to start with. I know they all suck, but you know who has a cut above by now. What routes would you take? Please respond back. I respect you enough that I'm very interested in what you have to say.
This came from Cato Sab. Thank you, Cato Sab, for reaching out to me and asking me these questions. If you guys are interested in any questions or anything like that you would like to ask me, reach out to me via comments, via DM, or the Gmail. That's lockoutmenpodcastguests@gmail.com. Cato Sab, here it is. Let's get into it.
If you could do it again, what company or companies would you have chosen?
Well, Cato, I tell you this, man. If I can do it all over again, honestly, I will probably stay the course that I did years ago. See, I'm glad I took the route I did from Tri-C to US Express. See, it wasn't perfect. It was all about the experience. Each step gave me something that I didn't realize I needed at the time. The mistakes I made, the breakdown I went through, the shady recruiters that I talked to, all of that had taught me something. And what it taught me, driver? Well, it kind of made me a little sharper. It kind of made me a little smarter in this industry. And I'm glad that I took all of that and made it into what I am today when it comes to trucking.
What's the perfect trucker journey, start to finish?
The truth is, driver, there is no such thing, man. There's no perfect way through this industry. Like you said, all starter companies are mostly the same. Some just sucks louder than others. But for me, driver, the route that I took, the journey that I took, kind of gave me insight. I learned how to spot the BS. I also learned how to stand on business. And I also learned what not to do. If I was building a path for someone else, though, I would probably say this. Start with a school, a trucking school that you will pay out of pocket for. Keep control of your CDL and your options. Then go to a starter company that respects the training, even if the pay is. Places like Rail, Prime, and even Snyder could be a stepping stone. Not for the check, though, but for the experience that you can occur throughout this journey. Maybe after a year or so, you can probably look into dedicated or regional, something to stabilize yourself. Maybe after 2 or 3 years in, probably about 5 years total, you'll have the experience to pretty much go anywhere where the money is. Or if you're content with your 5 years in, you could pretty much walk away with other options in your hand. Would I stay with one company long term? Only if they are growing with me. And what I mean by that is the company I gotta know is gonna treat me right. Basically, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a company that you can retire from. A lot of these companies will say, yeah, we could retire from this company, blah, 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 but only to find out that the company is going out of business and then you won't be able to retire with them. And then you have to start all over. It's all about looking for a company that you feel comfortable with and the company that you're comfortable in growing with.
Company driver or owner operator.
For me, driver, I went company driver, and I'm pretty much cool with that. See, I talked to a lot of owner operators throughout my years in trucking. Some love it, some regret it, but the truth is owning your own truck and running a business is a different kind of beast out here. It's not just freedom, it's overhead, it's maintenance, taxes, breakdowns, fuel. All that adds up to a lot of stress in an owner operator. If you're not running your truck like a business and understanding the business, then you're pretty much running it into the ground. See, drivers, me personally, I knew early on it wasn't for me. But if I had to lay out the steps to get there, let me take a minute and think about it. I guess first thing first, pay for your CDL out of pocket. Get solid company experience, build your own business credit and your personal savings because you're going to need it. Learn about the rates, the lanes, the fuel costs, the maintenance, and try to get a network of honest brokers that you can get with, because some of these brokers, when they get a sniff of you being the new person coming into owner operations, they're going to try and take full advantage of you.
Hold on.
Enjoying what you're hearing? Ready for unfiltered trucking talk that tells it like it is? The Trucking Commentary Podcast with Lockout Men delivers authentic reactions and engaging conversations about the latest trucking content from across YouTube and TikTok. Help us reach more drivers like you. Hit that like button and leave a comment to boost our visibility in YouTube's algorithm. Your support helps us deliver more of the no-nonsense trucking commentary you've come to like from Lockout Men.
Now, my last thing about being an owner-operator, and I got this from a lot of old school drivers, they pretty much say, buy a truck, but buy the truck used. Make sure it's reliable and not a money pit. And a lot of drivers say, with that in mind, you can get a good used truck, have that truck make the money you need to maybe get a better truck. But as of right now, you just need something to get you on your feet, and you need something reliable, and you need something that's not going to cost you while you're making money out here. Also, with that said, partner with a decent carrier that won't bleed you dry. Make sure you keep your overheads lean, and you probably might have a good shot. Also, what I didn't mention is that make sure you get a good dispatcher if you're not dispatching yourself.
Best company paid CDL program if you had to pick one.
Honestly, driver, I still wouldn't do it. I'm going to always say pay out of your pocket if you can. But if I was absolutely positively forced to go the company paid route, I would probably think that rail would probably comes to mind. See, what I got from other drivers that went through that program is that they don't trap you too long. The training is kind of decent, and they tend to care about you learning the ropes of the job. But again, once you sign the contract, just know that
Your soul is mine.
belongs to them.
What routes would you take?
Well, the routes that I'm taking right now, driver, is Midwest. I started out, I was OTR with US Express. But later down the line, I was like, yo, I wanted to be home a little bit. I wanted to be home a little bit more. And I figured that if I go regional and a company out of the state that I live, I figured that would be a lot better for me in the long run because I will have more home time and I will be able to control where I want to go. Now, a lot of these companies that you get with, they do offer regional. Sometimes it'll be a little bit over the road, but 9 times out of 10, you will get home for a 34-hour reset. Now, as far as a 34-hour reset, I myself is not a fan. I want 2 consecutive days off for being out over the road for as long as I am. But unfortunately, if you don't negotiate or communicate that in the beginning, then these companies is definitely going to use that 34-hour reset as a clutch. See, with most local jobs out here, they do offer better pay without the chaos of OTR. Plus, again, like I said before, you will get more home time that doesn't feel like a quick nap. If you're trying to stay in this game for the long haul, the key here is balance and not burnout. So, Kato, if I have to wrap this all up in one sentence, pick a path that match your goals, not just your bills, right? See, trucking will take you all over the country, but if you're not careful, it will also take your time, it will take your peace, and it will definitely take your money. Be strategic. I can't even get that word out. Strategic. There we go. Be that. Also, be honest with yourself and always know, driver, what you're signing up for. And with that, I guess that's all I got, man. If that helps you out, I hope it does. And I do appreciate the questions. If any of you guys have any questions or comments or anything that you'd like for me to look into, send it all to the Gmail. That's Lockout Men Podcast Guests, and I will try to respond to it. Thank you very much for the support. If you like content like this, don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit that thank you button if this content helps you out. Until next time, everybody.
Now I want to hear from you. If you could start your trucking career over again, where would you begin? Would you go lease, owner-op, or company? Email your stories and questions to lockoutmenpodcast@guestagmail.com. I'll try to feature them in the next video. And as always, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. Stay safe, stay smart, and stay locked in.